What's going on, everyone? This is Jay again. I know it's been a while. I've posted a few shorts on the tank progress, the restarting. I think I posted an older video, but I might post another one. I think I might have said I was going to post another one, but it's been a little bit. You can see my goby right there, my yellow Watchman goby. Just doing his thing, patrolling, making sure his buddy, my pistol shrimp, is, able to do his construction in peace, basically. I have a firefish there. You can see his tail. He's just kind of lounging around. But, yeah, this is the new tank. Not new, it's the old tank that I had a Watchman and a pistol shrimp in before, but I never spoke about it, or I probably never said it, but I will in the video that I post about it. Oh yeah, there's a little mangrove tree or spud or whatever. I nuked my tank on accident. I'm new to this saltwater stuff. I really do. I really am new to the hobby, really, when it comes to just keeping aquariums in general. I've only been doing it for about 2 years. I've learned a lot of things along the way, but it's just a process, which is kind of what everybody tells you. It's a process, it's a process, it's a process. And as much as you don't want to believe that, it really is. There really is no quick way of doing things. I mean, you can use certain products, you can try to speed that process up as much as possible, but you end up just creating problems down the line. You really just want to take the time. I know it sucks, we want everything right now, but we just really need to take the time to let these things build and progress, because what we really want when it comes to these systems is to make an ecosystem that all you really need to do is feed partially and change water. That should really be the only thing you need to do. Obviously add livestock every once in a while, obviously clean up every so often, but for the most part, if you create a tank ecosystem, whatever size that may be, you will literally have just to change water and enjoy the process. There really isn't a reason why we need to buy products every single day, or do things every single day, or expect what we want to happen. That's just not reality. And that's kind of what I'm seeing in this tank, since it's, I've rebuilt it. Maybe it's been about a month and a half, give or take. There's that codium that I started with originally. It's really trimmed back. There's a new Kenya tree here that I got. There's a new, everything in here is new because it's only a month and a half old, and I really just started with sand that was in the original tank, and that rock right there that was in the original tank. And I've purchased some things down the line, as you have to. This hobby is, I won't say it's inexpensive. I don't know how expensive a hobby can be. Some people pay thousands of dollars for dogs. Some people pay the price, really. And you can have a tank like this if you really wanted to instantly, but costs money, costs time. And that's just what it is. I was feeding them earlier, so that's what that white dish is. It's just some mysis shrimp, frozen mysis shrimp that I put in a turkey baster. And that's RODI water, which you want to have on hand. I got a 5-gallon, I only got a 10-gallon here. You should probably keep like however many water changes you want to do. on hand whenever you need to. Some rocks in there I got from Petco. Um, but yeah, this tank's moving along, and I'm really happy about it. I have a snail. Look, there's a turbo snail up there. I got 3 hermit crabs in there. And the thing about this nano tank is I really don't want to spend a lot of money to do this, and I really don't want to put too much pressure on this system. I have a life. I work every single day almost, and it's hard to keep a hobby like this when you don't have the information, and when you don't learn your lesson, and when eventually when you get it, and it's really awesome when you do. In total I've probably spent around $200 to $250 on this tank. I got the tank on OfferUp for like $10. It came with a whole bunch of stuff. Came with that heater, came with the filter, came with the filter pads, it came with the top, the lid, came with everything pretty much. And I bought that off of OfferUp for $10-20. You know what I mean? And then the live rock was probably some of the most expensive stuff. Everything in the tank I actually had to purchase. So, live rock, we're probably sitting around. Live rock's expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive. I mean, I understand, but come on. That stuff is like crazy ridiculous. Just those 2 little pieces right there cost me like $30, and that in the middle was like another $10. So I probably got like $50 just in those rocks right there, not including the sand. Sand is like another crazy. It's ridiculous. You probably spend like another $20, $30, $50 if not, just on rocks and sand. That's $100 already. $120 just for the tank and the sand and the rocks. And then, like I said, I got the filter. This whole setup, really, you could probably get at Petco or something for like $120. So, but you see, we're in the ballpark already. You're paying $120 for the tank. If you don't find it somewhere else for cheaper, you're already $50, $60 in on. Oh, he's like, get away from here, bro. I'll bite you. I didn't mean to cuss, but hey, that's what happens. Oh, snap. We're getting a whole live show here. Whoa. And that's really the love about this hobby. That's what a lot of people don't understand. He's like, hey, back up. Let me get this. Let me take this inside. Yeah, and that codium was growing great, but these guys, I'm pretty sure, are munching on it. I'm pretty sure everybody in here is eating it. So, instead of that, I need to go buy some algae, little squares, so everybody can get a little piece. Stop eating my plants. Because that codium was $10. For a little tiny ball, and it grew pretty significantly. And if it didn't, then we would have a problem because it'd be dead. I bought a mushroom. I bought 2 mushrooms. There's one there, and I have another video coming out hopefully soon about a mushroom that I purchased and put in this tank, and it died. So it was very disturbing to watch. I didn't like it, but unfortunately, it's just something that happens in this hobby that you have to just eat. This whole hobby is just eating costs for things, really. But that turbo snail, he's doing his thing. That heater's not even on, by the way. I keep my house at like 74, 76, 72 sometimes, and this, water is naturally insulated, so unless it's like a huge amount of time that you're keeping your stuff at, I mean, 72 to 78 is perfect range for a tank like this. So you shouldn't, if you're in air conditioning, there's no reason why you should have a heater, really, unless you don't have air conditioning for whatever reason. It's always good to have a backup, which is why I have it in there, but it's not on, And I put that mangrove tree pod thing, I put it in the back of my hang-on filter because, why not? there's water in there. It wants to just chill. I don't want to take the lid off my tank because wherever the firefish went, he would just jump right out of it. He's tried already a couple of times, and hey, I got a lid on it. So, keep trying, I guess. Well, don't keep trying. Oh, there he is. Don't keep trying, dude. You're all right. But I pretty much purchased everybody here and everything in this tank, besides, like I said, the rock, the sand, the tank, and everything that runs the tank. I bought that 2 to 3 years ago. I bought this, sand like a year ago. So everything else, livestock wise, is new. I bought that like 1 week ago. I bought him within the same week. I bought him with those two within the same week, the pistol and the watchman. I bought that codium like a month ago. I bought the snails and the hermits crabs like 3 weeks ago. Same thing with the mushroom, probably 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. It's really fun. If you have the money to do it, which I will say, you can always find things, new resources online. People are selling that for $20, or giving it away, or fuck, you might even find this whole tank for $50. If I mess it up, I might just give you this whole thing and be like, fish included, whatever's left alive, I'll, sell it to you, $50, whole thing. I don't know, but you want to find the deals, you want to find the, you want to find a good foundation. I do a water change in this tank once a week, probably 20 to 30%, which is not much. 3 gallons, out of this tank every week. Not bad. I top up with the RODI. When I have a little system, I put a line where I want it to be, and if it goes below that line, hey, time to top it up. Oh, back out. Yeah, those guys are so cool. But yeah, I need to go get some algae tablets because I'm pretty sure they're just, you see that codium broken off. There's like little bits and pieces that look like they've been munched on. So, oh, there we go. But in a smaller tank like this, a lot of people, they put primarily fish, but I think this tank is really a small bottom reef tank. This is to really, see a lot of the fish you wouldn't normally see in a larger tank. And that's in a larger tank. Obviously, yeah, you get the fish flying, not flying, but swimming around and having a good time and all that. But in this tank, you get to see these bottom dwellers kind of really, showcase. And I think it's a lot more fun and a lot more exciting and it's better than just having a fish, swimming around. That's cool too. Look at him. Look how vibrant he is. He looks beautiful swimming around. He loves the flow. I'm about to turn up that flow a little bit more, but they're gonna get bigger. My pistol shrimp has pretty much dug everywhere. Everywhere. Where that corner right there was a little bit higher, but was pretty much level with this whole tank all the way across. And you can see how much digging he's done. He's literally excavated that whole bottom of that rock there, that little bottom of the rock. He's gone and excavated Phoenix's home. That's what we call him. His name's Phoenix, that firefish over there. But yeah, he's excavated his home, which is under there. We saw him earlier. But yeah, this is the saltwater tank. This is the update. You know, comment, like, subscribe, question, whatever you want to do. You know, since that mangrove is so small, it just requires a little bit of ambient light from now and again, you know. Not now and again, but most of the day, you know. So this light that's coming through my window is probably good enough until, you know, those might need to start getting some light on them here pretty soon, but maybe in the next day or two. I've had it for about, like I said, a week and a half, so but it's doing good. It's doing all right.